This was never a country I'd envisioned coming to, but I haven't stopped thinking about it since. This feeling of being out in the open, free. I've been traveling for quite a while now, long enough to know that most places start to feel familiar. Different languages and different landscapes, but the feeling is often the same. But this time was different. Coming here slowed me down more than anywhere else I've been, as my search for new cultures around the world has led me to this one place. This is Mongolia, a place shaped by neighboring empires and centuries of movement and survival. A crossroads of cultures that gave rise to a nomadic way of life that's still very much alive. It feels like more and more places that I've traveled to have lost the traditions that once made them unique. So, what does culture here actually look like today? And more importantly, who is still living it? So today is the day. Packing up all of my stuff here in Bali to head to Mongolia. It's gonna be a full month packed of travels from just booking one-way flights and seeing as we go. 3 friends traveling from 3 different sides of the world to meet in a country that none of us really understood yet. This is my friend Felix. He's a talented filmmaker from Germany that I met a few years ago on a trip with another friend of mine, Matteo. One of my good friends from California and someone I can count on for almost any adventure. Seriously though, lots and lots of memories with this guy. We're here for the next 2 weeks to explore a new country and to see what this place is really about. And we've heard that somewhere in the west, in the mountains near the Kazakh border, there are hunters who still ride with golden eagles. So I guess that's where we're headed. Finally reunited with the boys here. We've just arrived here in Ulaanbaatar. We're at the Airbnb right now. We're gonna be heading out to a new city that's a 6-hour drive from here, so we got a long day of driving ahead of us. We're about 10 minutes into the drive right now and probably on one of the bumpiest roads that I've ever been on.
There's no such thing as sleeping in the car on these rides, bro. You're gonna bang your head.
Beautiful, beautiful Mongolia. Across the great expanse that is the Gobi Desert, we found the most diverse landscapes that I've ever seen, and also found lots more of, well, nothing. Mongolia is the most sparsely populated country on Earth, with 99.7% of this country being completely empty land. So we've just made it to the mini Gobi Desert. This place is about 5 hours west of Ulaanbaatar, and the sand goes literally right up to some beautiful grass fields here. So super excited to be here. It's been a really cool one, and we have some friends right here too. We packed our stuff up so we could make it out of the desert just before nightfall because we still had a lot more driving to do. After a full night's rest camping in a traditional Mongolian ger, we took the morning to recharge, offload some footage, and get ready for the drive ahead of us. Today we plan to head to Erden Zu Monastery, probably one of the oldest surviving Buddhist monasteries in Mongolia, with paintings dating all the way back to the 1500s. And one of my favorite parts of traveling to any new country,
Red Bull cold brew.
Trying new flavors of Red Bull.
Is it good? It's alright actually. Kind of nasty, but it's also not too bad.
This is what your average road is like in This is what your average road is like in Mongolia. The further we drove into the wilderness, the fewer signs of civilization we saw. After a while, it made you wonder if anyone had ever been here at all, or if it really was just us. In a place this vast, where the horizon stretches endlessly in every direction, it begins to feel like you're the first person to set foot here. The kind of feeling the riders who once crossed these lands must have felt centuries ago, like stepping onto another planet. Most countries I've traveled through aren't this quiet or this untouched, and it makes you wonder what Mongolia is doing differently. How a place this wild has managed to remain so open, so untouched, and so free. So this is our second night of camping. We just had a very long day of shooting, but I wanted to come on here and show you guys our charging setup. This honestly might be like the fanciest camping that I've ever done. We're in a tent right now and we have a generator, luckily. We have about 50,000 cords everywhere, laptops, phone, drone batteries, camera batteries, remotes, gimbals. This is like not safe at all, but... The next morning we woke up with the sun to capture the morning light and to check out some of the landscapes around us. After enjoying some coffee and a quick breakfast, it was time to get back on the road. We drove 9 hours through some barren landscapes to find something we truly never expected. Seriously, one of the most surreal landscapes I've ever seen. With storm clouds in the distance mirrored off the lake, there was something really magical about this place. One of the craziest things that I really was not expecting to find in Mongolia is Priuses. You can get them for really cheap secondhand from Japan, so they ship them all here because you can buy them used for a few thousand US, but it's really crazy. Expected a lot of things out of Mongolia, but Priuses was not one of them. Would you look at that? Another Prius. And another one. And another one. And we were off on yet another leg of the 2,000 kilometers across Mongolia. I don't think I fully understood the scale of this country until we were in it, driving for hours past remote villages, police checkpoints, and long stretches of land far away from any signs of civilization. I don't know what noise a camel makes, but I would do that right now if I could. After 3 full days on the road, we finally made it to Gobi, the westernmost city in the country. As far as we knew, this was where the trail led. This region is where the tradition of eagle hunting once thrived, and after asking around, we got connected with a local Kazakh family that was willing to take us in for the night, and we hoped it might give us a closer look at a way of life we had only heard about. So actually tonight we're going to be heading out and living with a nomadic family, a Kazakh family, for the next day or two. And we're going to be able to experience this way of life firsthand.
Go, go, go! Watch your head.
Upon arrival, we were welcomed into the home of strangers with a warm meal and a shared curiosity about one another. We talked about life out here, why they stay and why others leave. They told us the city isn't really an option for everyone, that life there asks for something different than what they can offer. And out here, life asks for something else entirely, something not everyone is built for. Days that begin early and end late, where responsibility is shared by everyone. Work that doesn't really stop. You could feel it in the way they moved, in the way that nothing here is rushed and that life moves with the rhythm of the land. The longer we stayed, the more we started to understand that while many traditions disappear, some just become harder to find. Asselbeck is the father of this family and the first eagle hunter we had the pleasure of meeting. He grew up out here, hunting with eagles alongside his father and his father before him. He introduced us to his brother Tudlo that lives in a ger nearby. Their family has a rich history in Mongolia long before borders divided this region many centuries ago. A history rooted in the way of hunting with an eagle.
Их орондоо хайртай. Их орондоо хайртай бай, их орноо хайрлаж хамгаал.
The next day was spent laying low, taking in the scenery and living life as the Kazakh people do. I felt in awe spending time here, feeling like I was taken back a few centuries to a much simpler time. While the outside world changes every day, life here feels unchanged. Being here really shows you how less is so much more. Joy can be found in the small things. The connection to the land is strong with these people. It provides everything they need to survive, and that has never changed. Just as the land cares for them, they too care for the land. So this right behind me is called a ger. It's a traditional Kazakh home for nomadic families here in Mongolia. So I'm going to show you the inside. Take off your shoes first because you don't want to get dirt inside. So first you have the main bed for the mom and dad that stay here. And you have two other beds for the kids here. In the middle of it you have the stove, and it vents out right up top right here. So this is the main way that they power anything that has electricity in here. Honestly, the only thing that has power in here is this single light right here. Staying in here with the family was honestly one of the best experiences that I've had. It was really cool to see their way of life and what it's like being a nomad here in Mongolia. Very cool. Connecting with this family was easily the highlight of the trip so far. It really felt good to soak in a few days of peace, but we still have more land to cover if we want to make it to Altai Peak. This is the furthest corner of Mongolia, up in the mountains that borders Russia, China, and Kazakhstan just a few kilometers away. About 5 minutes into our drive and we're already stuck. Yeah, Manda!
I saved
Let's
your
go. So we decided to make a pit stop along the way, and we're doing a hike called Bakturgan Waterfall. It's starting to make me feel like I'm almost back at home because a lot of these landscapes actually look like California, but there's just so much that feels familiar about this place. So we've just gotten to the lake where we're going to be camping tonight, and right as we're pulling in, a massive storm rolls in. So we were forced to take cover in the tent. It was actually a very beautiful sunset, and we got some really cool drone footage. So you can see it's a little bit hectic out here, but isn't this just freaking beautiful? It was honestly a bit of a rough night last night. I didn't really sleep well because the storm was blowing so heavy and it was raining all night on our rooftop tent right here. But then I also woke up around 2 a.m. and I just couldn't sleep because my stomach was hurting so bad. And I think I got sick from last night's dinner. It was leftovers from the family and it made me pretty sick. But here we are, day 8, and we have another 500 kilometers to drive today, so it's gonna be another long one. We've been without water for about 2 days now. We've only been drinking lake and river water, so we're checking out this local shop to see if they have any for us.
Much needed water. We have been without proper water for like 2 or 3 days now. We keep having to drink the boiled water, but every time we drink the boiled water, it's either tea or coffee. And it's not cold, so it's boiled. So we just haven't had proper water. Finally, we have some.
From here, the landscape shifted with signs of the Altai Mountains nearby. The roads became rougher. Civilizations became more sporadic. Hours would pass without seeing another person. And the further we drove, the more the valleys started to close in on us. Narrow mountain passes with no clear road ahead, and the valley locals were our only source of directions. Right next to the border of Kazakhstan, Russia, and China. I think this is the farthest that we've gone so far. Pretty crazy views though. What surprised me most was how quickly the land here could change. Desert dunes gave way to lush grasslands, volcanic craters to alpine lakes, urban cities, vast canyons, and now, standing beneath the Altai Mountains, it felt impossible to believe that all of this existed within the same country. The truth is, I never thought I'd find myself somewhere like this. Further from home than I've ever been. Somewhere unfamiliar in every possible way. And yet, there's something strangely comforting about it. When all you can do is think about what can go wrong in a place like this, you can decide to let go and realize that you're not in control of any of it. And I think that's what this trip was really all about. Putting myself somewhere unfamiliar, letting go of control, learning to slow down long enough to actually take things in. But standing here now, reflecting over this journey, I know this is a place I'll never forget.